got an article here from the AV Club. It's up on Archive because the AV Club they can delve into bullshit, and you can see why up here at the top. They're kind of in league or owned by the same company or whatever as Deadspin, Jezebel, Kotaku, The Root. Ugh, that's just complete shit. Anyway, Cobra Kai karate kicked the crap out of both of those big fancy fantasy shows. Nielsen said. Now this is it's basically a report on the Nielsen ratings, which you always have to take kind of a grain of salt with them because you're always you always got to wonder how do they get these numbers and so on and such forth. Anyway, Deadline had done they were reporting on the new streaming numbers from TV data company Nielsen, which reports that Netflix's Cobra Kai has won the streaming wars for the second week running. Its recently arrived fifth season comfortably crane-kicking the shit out of both big fantasy shows in the company's count of total minutes streamed. Now the thing is though, and it mentions here, Cobra Kai came just a hair short of beating both of them combined. 1.9 billion for Cobra Kai versus 960 for House of the Dragon and 988 for Rings of Power. But it's got to clarify here that it maps to episode 4 of House of the Dragon, so 4 episodes, and episode 3 and a bit of episode 4 of Rings of Power. It also maps to all of Cobra Kai season 5 and all the seasons before it. And then he tries to tie it into for all that Netflix has gotten some flack for of late for its continued adherence to the binge release model. As everyone else goes weekly to give their shows a longer tail, it does pay occasional dividends. Like how the fuck does that doesn't even make sense. Like saying that all 5 seasons of Cobra Kai that it beat the first 4 episodes of House of the Dragon and essentially 4 episodes of Rings of Power. That doesn't prove that Netflix is right for doing the binge release model, because nobody gives a flying fuck about the whole. Hey, it's the how many weekly minutes of a series were streamed and stuff. It's like no one gives a fuck about that, like except for maybe investors and I guess fanboys online who want to brag about that shit or whatever. Anyway, I'll link this in the description box if you want to read it for yourself. We've gone through the entire thing, but and they talk about, you can tell this guy is really into Cobra Kai, which is, hey, that's cool. I mean, it says Netflix is yet to renew the show for a 6th season, although elaborately gestures at the preceding 300 words of reported streaming dominance. Come on, it's not that hard to imagine. I mean, it's like if the people want to do it, they'll do it. The makers of the show, I mean, because Netflix will surely want them to do it. I mean, shit, it's a pretty popular show. But whatever. It's the kind of thing where it's like, this article is cool and all, I suppose, because it points out, well, you got some streaming stuff, although it really does make you wonder, when you start talking about Nielsen numbers, how much of that shit can you really, truly believe? Because how do they get this data? Because I damn sure don't get it from Netflix, or Amazon, or HBO, or whatever. Because those companies, if the data is released officially, they'll do it themselves in a big elaborate press release and stuff and brag about it and shit. But anyway, basically this whole article is just a reason to try to say, hey guys, Cobra Kai is badass. These fantasy shows aren't quite as good. But considering that 4 episodes of The House of the Dragon, did that well, that's pretty good. We could debate about whether the shows are any good or this or that or whatever. That's a whole other story, pretty much. There's no question that, but to try to use this basically to justify Netflix's binge release model, which is just dumb. I know some people really like it. Hell, I know a couple people in my family who love it. But it does say, everyone else goes weekly to give their shows a longer tail. That's true. That's why they do it. If it builds up more hype and stuff. But regardless, that's neither here nor there. I'll go ahead and wrap this up here. Already going 4 minutes on. Like I said, I'll link it in the description box if you want to read it for yourself. Thank you very much for watching and have a good one.